belongs to the people of Venezuela. But we have seen this criminal enterprise launched by the Trump administration has gone further. They have now kidnapped the president of Venezuela. What country has the right to put on trial the president of another? Since when does the Trump administration have the moral, legal, or even political right to put another president on trial? If we're talking about presidents who have committed crimes, why is President Trump not on trial?
Exactly.
But we know very well, and we have to call the attention of the media, the attention of the American people, that this war that the Trump administration has launched has not ended yet. The threat of American troops on the ground is still latent and still present. The U.S. continues to threaten not just Venezuela, but has threatened the people of Mexico, of Colombia. They have threatened the people of Cuba. The threat of war is very real across Latin America and the Caribbean. That's why we call on the people of the United States, who are right now mobilizing in over 100 cities across the country, to not stay quiet, to raise their voices against the Trump administration and their criminal war. It is Trump, Rubio, and Hegseth who should be put on trial for the killing of over 100 innocent people in the Caribbean, who should be put on trial for the bombing campaign against the Venezuelan people, who should be put on trial for what is clearly an illegal war of regime change. We say it loudly from the streets of New York, Trump will not win. The same way Trump will not defeat the American people and turn back history. We will not go back to Jim Crow. We will not go back to segregation. We will not go back to where they want us to go. In that same spirit, the people of Venezuela, the people of Latin America will not go back. So we say loudly, hands off Venezuela!
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 We refuse to accept the bombing of our brothers and sisters in Venezuela.
Por TikTok. Yo hago lives acá en todo el recorrido de Nueva York. Y cuando veo este tipo de actividades, personas que ni siquiera son venezolanos, que ni siquiera son latinoamericanos, empezando por ahí, porque nosotros no discriminamos a nadie, ni siquiera son latinoamericanos porque ninguno habla español, y están protestando en contra de Donald Trump viviendo en un país capitalista. Es lo que digo yo, son comunistas y en un país capitalista vienen a protestar contra la democracia, contra Donald Trump. Miren, si en mi país o en otro país latinoamericano.
His wife, and bringing them while we're here demonstrating in Times Square by aircraft to New York City to stand trial as one of the great crimes of the contemporary era. One of the great crimes.
Shame!
Donald Trump with Rubio held a press conference this morning, and it's important to really listen to what Trump said in justifying this imperialist colonial seizure of the head of state of Venezuela, a sovereign country, a member of the United Nations, a country that the United States is technically at peace with. Trump said these words. He said, "Never again will U.S. dominance of the Western Hemisphere be questioned. I want us to really let those words sink in, because in so saying those words, Trump is basically telling us what this kidnapping is all about. It's not about drugs. It's not about democracy. It's not about the last election. It's because the Venezuelan Bolivarian Socialist Project did indeed challenge U.S. domination, maybe not over all of the Western Hemisphere, but over Venezuela. The Chavez Maduro Bolivarian government said, we, the Venezuelan people, will become the masters of our destiny. And for that, Donald Trump has sent the U.S. military to bomb Venezuela, kill Venezuelans, and kidnap their president because he dared to challenge U.S. dominance in the Western Hemisphere. The reason I think this is so important, in order to keep at the very center of what we're doing, is because the U.S., since the end of the Vietnam War, when so many of us, millions, tens of millions, came out against the Vietnam War, the U.S. has resorted to the same tactic whenever it wants to invade or occupy or destroy another country. It uses the same tactic. The tactic is to demonize the target. You have to demonize Manuel Noriega to justify the invasion of Panama. You have to demonize Saddam Hussein to justify the criminal invasion of Iraq. You have to demonize Milosevic in order to justify the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia. You have to demonize Gaddafi to justify the bombing of Libya. And in no case were those wars about Saddam or Milosevic or Gaddafi, they were about governments that challenged U.S. dominance in their area, in their region, in their country, and most notably, when you think of Iraq, Libya, and Venezuela, those countries possess enormous quantities of oil. And Trump says, it's our oil. Now, here's another thing before I end that I want you to think about. When Trump says it was our oil, the way the British said it was their oil in Iran before they carried out the coup d'etat that toppled the Mossadegh government in '53. When we think about the formulation, our oil, what working class person in New York City or anywhere in the United States owns an oil well? Not one. How many working class people have investments in oil? That would be none. My point is, the people who own Chevron and ExxonMobil and the biggest oil companies, the capitalist class in the United States, they want to own Venezuela's oil, and this is a capitalist war. It's a rich man's war. The kidnapping of Maduro is an imperialist war for a capitalist class, and we're saying working class New Yorkers and working class people in the United States who do not own oil wells have more in common with the people in Venezuela than we do with these criminals on Wall Street and the boardrooms of the biggest oil companies. We're going to build a new anti-war movement. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Trump is going to go for it. He's going to go for it in Cuba. in Iran. This is the beginning of a Trump war drive. And the question for every one of us is, are we ready to commit today, to stand today, to mobilize today and tomorrow and next week, and show the world that the American people reject Donald Trump, reject war, and reject imperialism? Let's do it.